I'm no saint, but I'm telling you this. I think we live right now in an era of filth and trash. You know exactly what I'm talking about. From music to certain influencers, if you want to call them that, to what we see on social media, and even just the standards of service and people having no decorum anymore. And in this era of filth and trash, normal healthy people like you and me become exhausted, drained, confused, and just so disappointed. However, if you're feeling completely lost, there are some slightly unconventional tips and ways you can manage your life better and avoid it. Now, if you feel misunderstood, want no bullshit advice to leveling up your life, dealing with complex situations, and being given to you straight by someone who gets you, then let me help you. Book a free discovery call with me. The link's in the description and the pinned comment down below. Not long ago, OnlyFans didn't exist. Now it's everywhere. Not long ago, people were laughing at like the Kardashians. Now they're seen as role models. Not long ago, we used to live a very different world and life. And now we are celebrating insanity. We are compromising things that we said we'll never compromise. And we're making excuses for things and just pretty much rolling on our back and showing our bellies ready to get tickled. This goes beyond politics and it goes beyond, the typical arguments and debates. And this is just society now. You don't feel safe in most places, not like you used to. When you try to consume content, it's either okay or average or complete trash. Have you tried listening to music recently as well? And this is not an age thing. This is even younger people saying the same thing. Everything is trash, actually. The food you go out to eat now, is it as good as it used to be? The company that you try to keep, or God knows why you keep, is it as good as it used to be? What about dating if you're hopelessly single? It's all just gone tits up. And it's got progressively worse. We can pinpoint certain moments in history. We can say this had a, effect on it and an influence. But I think it's better to just accept it for what it is. It's an era where we praise idiots, we consume stupid things, and we celebrate mediocrity and insanity. And as a result of that, we don't live pure lives. We're not our authentic selves. We bite our tongue until it bleeds whilst putting up with nonsense. And then we wonder why we're so bitter, so resentful, so quick to get angry. Because once again, we live in an era of filth and trash. Now, I'm a Christian man, and if you're Christian, Muslim, whatever, we can pray, we can beg for salvation, whatever like that. But please, keep it real. This is the sign of the times. This might be the end of times, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be the end of your time. This is why people are working remotely to avoid people. This is why people are, and especially parents, are censoring what their children watch and see and read, etc. This is why men are struggling with addictions. This is why women are paying through the nose to adhere to a standard of beauty that is unrealistic and unobtainable. And this is why almost most conversations now are just garbage. So if we're in this era, what effect is it really, truly having on someone like you and me? Someone who keeps it real, someone who sees it for what it is, and someone who's had enough. Well, I believe it's poisoning your mind. Because it poisoned mine, and every now and again it does. Every time I engage with certain content, every time I look at certain things, every time things are brought to my attention, my mind gets poisoned. And immediately I become more insecure, I become more confused, and angrier and resentful. It's the reason why I don't do reactions on this channel, because I don't need the virality, and that's not my style. And secondly, it will just upset me even more. Everything nowadays is optimized for clicks, not quality. That's why I'm not showing any clips in this video. I'm just keeping it real and talking to you like this. So like I've already said, trash music, content that is overly sexualized, mindless videos, even AI slop now is trash. You see all these AI videos where, you think you're getting insightful opinions and so on, but it's just written into a computer, and someone that sounds like David Attenborough, which is certainly not David Attenborough, is spouting nonsense. None of these things entertain you. You're not entertained. You're sedated. And this is the problem. This is why people feel like robots. This is why people feel like they're on autopilot and like they're zombies. And if it's garbage, well, what do? Well, it's obvious. Purge the garbage. Purge the filth and the trash. 1 week off this cheap dopamine will reset your mind and your brain. If you replace stimulation with the following: creation, such as reading a physical book, not an ebook, writing on a piece of paper, not even on a laptop, building something, muscles, your techniques with breathing through meditation, or just going for a walk without your headphones and so on and so forth, that's a reset of the cheap dopamine. The fact that the trash and the filth is everywhere and compiling and compounding even more means that your mind is getting poisoned more and more. We need to siphon out the poison, like I said, by resetting our mind, by just taking not a year, not 6 months, just try 1 week and replacing those habits of watching those videos and doing those things with creation. You'll feel like the good old times. Trust me. Now, this point may make you feel uncomfortable, but it's eye-opening, and I really, really want you to pay attention. You're addicted to the very thing that makes you miserable. You know that doom scroll you hate? You can't stand it. You criticize it, but you still do it. That TikTok sound or Instagram reel, whatever, you mock. It's still stuck in your head. You still watch it every day. Those people you can't stand, you snoop around and look at them online constantly. Your nervous system is now wired for chaos instead of calmness. It's very funny because people will say, well, I can't stand this, can't stand that, and then they go do it. They're hypocrites. It's a bit like me. I used to be a gambling addict, but if I still gambled, and I told you, well, this is how you quit gambling, then I'm a hypocrite. If I was still in a toxic relationship trying to advise you how to leave one and how to have a healthy one, I'm a hypocrite. The very thing you hate and addicted to is making you miserable. You're addicted to trash. Most men are addicted to filth, and some women as well. So, we need to get really hard on ourselves now. We need to be strict, and we need to create rules. No phone at bedtime. No screens before breakfast. No this, no that. Choose boredom, because that's what creates real clarity. When you detach from the sedation of filth and trash, you'll find very, very quickly, you'll find that you'll be bored. But through that boredom comes the greatest ideas, the best inspiration, and the most healthy resetting of your nervous system possible. It's not going cold turkey. It's creating rules and boundaries with yourself. And why would you not want rules and boundaries with trash and filth? Now, oftentimes people will say real life feels quite mediocre. And once again, that's because you're desensitized. You've watched thousands of highlight reels, seen rage clips, fake bodies, more than you could ever possibly imagine. So a walk outside, a normal human moment, maybe even picking up a newspaper, feels dull. It's a very common complaint. That's that overstimulation again. But that's not real. Women who have been brainwashed to an ideal of beauty, and then they realize and recognize that it's fake and unrealistic. Men who assume in the bedroom that things need to be a certain way because of the content they watch, and then they realize that that's not it, and then they call that boring and dull. Like I said, a walk outside is dull. A normal human experience is dull, when actually it's the most beautiful, pure, incredible thing you can do. You just need to remind yourself, or actually engage with it for the very first time. If you're present and you walk in nature and you stop and smell the roses, look at the birds, look at the sky, breathe in that oxygen from the trees, what an experience. Something as simple as literally going to get a coffee and then looking at that coffee, smelling that coffee, tasting every drop in your mouth that goes down your throat and into your body. Wow. We've forgotten that. We need to relearn presence. Walk with no music, talk without checking your phone, touch grass, as they say. Go and actually touch grass. That's what your nervous system heals. That's how men quit, addictions to adult content. That's how women actually re-engage with their nervous systems and stop becoming so stressed and anxious and become more beautiful and pure as a result. Now, last but not least, you're surrounded by people who worship trash culture. You want peace and purpose, and they want drama and dopamine. You say no to filth, and they call you weird. They call you boring. They call you strange. Stop explaining yourself to adults who are basically addicts. Stop explaining yourself to freaks. Stop explaining yourself to perverts and people with nothing in their lives. You need to protect your environment now, like your soul depends on it. And now let's bring back religion. This is about your soul. Your soul needs saving. It needs protection. And that's through whatever means necessary for you. But the quickest way you can do so is by protecting your environment, by protecting what you engage with and who you engage with as well. It's why young men and women become cigarette smokers, become addicts to food, become negative, get into the wrong relationships because they are peer pressured and confused and manipulated to go against the grain and destroy that pure environment that they were actually destined to go to. And that's why 40 years later, they are addicted to smoking more and their life is trash and they're living in filth. I don't want you to do that. Whoever celebrates filth, whoever celebrates trash, let them do so. But for God's sake, do not allow them to make you consume it. You say, no, I'm not interested. And then if they can't respect that and they're still pushing an agenda, still wanting you to do so, you cut them out. I used to be addicted to gambling, and I had friends pushing the trash and filth of the casino and the addiction of that down my throat. And as long as I allowed them to do so, I stayed addicted. But the second I became sober and cut them out, everything changed. It's sad what's happened to society. It's sad what's happened to our world. It's sad what's happened to people. But we need to be different. It is now punk rock to be normal. It is now unconventional to be normal and live a boring standard life. But it's not boring. It's peaceful. It's beautiful. And it's pure. And you deserve it. And if you want help and guidance on how to build boundaries, how to feel understood in a misunderstanding world, and no bullshit mentorship by someone who gets you, let me help you. Book a free discovery call with me. The link's in the description down below. Lastly, this is about unplugging, and this is about cleansing your soul and your body and your mind from so much filth and trash. Clean yourself up right now. Are you sick and tired of feeling stuck in life or being weighed down by endless struggles? Maybe you're exhausted from being walked all over, or tired of never having boundaries, or not saying no, walking away, or stuck in toxic cycles and situations. Well, imagine breaking free from all of that, feeling powerful and totally in control of your life. When you work with me, there's no BS, no fluff, just real, personal transformation.
I won't lie, his direct no BS approach made me feel uncomfortable at times, but was absolutely necessary to reveal my blind spots that were holding me back to become the best version of myself.
He told me things I didn't want to hear but I needed to hear, and it's helped me find myself again and to move on from it all and to rebuild and to come out stronger.
Now, you've seen my journey on YouTube about the power of walking away from the wrong people, overcoming addiction, handling grief, empowering myself from being rock bottom. But this isn't about me. This is not my story. This is your story. Imagine having a life on your terms, having a healthier, better relationship, being able to overcome your struggles and actually be at peace and taste happiness, maybe for the first time ever in your life.
I was skeptical at first, as he's not the cheapest, but my concerns were immediately put to rest when he presented a step-by-step detailed breakdown of my new life plan for me to follow immediately after the call.
I had a session with SCG. I just think that it was very, very beneficial, and he helped me work through my structure and path moving forward.
Now, other coaches fail when it comes to getting real results because they offer you generic advice that is not catered to you. It's a one-size-fits-all program and it's a load of BS.
After watching countless videos on YouTube regarding heartbreak, I noticed that they were all similar. Go to the gym, hang around with friends, find a hobby and all that other BS basically. Yeah, that's great advice, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the advice that I needed. That's when I came across SCG's videos.
But I'm different. I listen to you. I take notes. I ask the deep questions and personalize and cater to your needs to take you from where you are now to where you truly want to be. And it's a lot easier and simpler than you think.
What I appreciate the most is how SCG tailored the session to my specific needs and goals. After questioning and analysing my unique background and story, I feel he over-delivered, proving his genuine passion for his clients.
I totally recommend, if you're reaching out, if you're looking into having somebody who can listen with understanding and help you kind of bring different perspectives to what you're dealing with.
So here's what I want you to do. If you are genuinely serious about change and personal transformation, book a free discovery call right now down below. And also check out the testimonials from real people and real success stories of men and even women who've turned their lives around thanks to me. There are only limited spots available, to take advantage of this now, and it's only for serious people who are serious about change. So let's not delay. Let's not keep you where you are now, stuck in the same cycles, the same routines for another year. Let's work together and break free together and live life finally on your terms.
Truly, thank you, SCG.
I really appreciate you, SCG.
If you're going through something similar, he could help you also.
If you're thinking of coaching with him, try it out for sure. Reach out.
If you're struggling too, especially with heartbreak, or just like I am, or anything else for that matter, then please reach out to SCG. Book your free consultation, and I can assure you, you won't regret it. You can't put a price on your health, especially your mental health.